downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Green Bay Packers. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. First carry for DeAndre Swift. That's some strong running. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards on the game's first play. 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Second down and 5. Stafford going to give it to Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line. But I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. And then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Now Jones. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Love looking to throw it. Touchdown, Packers! Jalen Guyton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Well, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Love going to give this one to Jones. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 29. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. Working out of the gun. Love. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Stafford on third down. On Stafford for the third time is intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Right back to Swift again on second down. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Back to throw, Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And this will be a Packers first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Love's throw there complete to Rodgers. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17-0 our score after one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Romeo Okwara able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Love. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 35.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Play fake. Here's Love. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here's second and 10. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions 27. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On third down, here's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Aleem McNeil gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Throwing on second and long. Love. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now Love. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. A big play there for Detroit. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Swift. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd down, Swift. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, but and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The Love's throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw now. Here's Love. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 58 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. On 1st and 10, Love. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
Kylan Hill,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Packers are able to add on to their first half lead.
Point after try forthcoming. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. He'll find Swift out of the backfield.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Stafford. Throwing middle, and it's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check Mike 12. Mike 12. Mike 12. Hey, here we go.
Here's Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Packers will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Love.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. A give to Jones. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. First down, Love to pass. Steps away to his left.
That is caught by Rodgers.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Love. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful. Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On now is the Packers punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run. He was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we'll see a return here from the end zone.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On second down, it's Jones, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Love from the gun on third down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now here's a throw. It's complete. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
3 yards remain for second down.
Here's a give to Jones running left. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Love now to pass on first down. He hits Adams complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, you're able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Forced out to his left. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
It's big Trey Flowers getting in there that time for the sack.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Love from the gun. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here's Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal.
Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone, as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. The 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes. And now before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
On third down, Love. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Romeo Okwara able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and forever. On 3rd down, it's Jones. And he's got some space here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return.
And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On play action, Love to throw. And it's complete to Adams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Play action this time with Love.
Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tonyan.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey,
touchdown, Packers!
Robert Tonyan,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Packers add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
They'll run here with Swift.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll get this one up to the 26.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
On 3rd down, Swift.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 107 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give it to Swift. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check.
Here's Swift. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Here comes the boom.
2nd down and goal. Stafford to the goal line, but it's incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
They will run it with Swift here. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the...
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 40, the 20, 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So call off the pick 6.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
Throwing is Stafford. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is down to 24.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it is starting to appear, thankfully for them, that this is the week they're going to put it all together and end that long losing streak. They're not home yet, but in control in the fourth quarter. And this will be a Packers first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.